So, there was this smoking hot princess named Psyche. She was drop-dead gorgeous, like Helen of Troy level stunning. Her beauty was so off the charts that people started worshipping her instead of Aphrodite, the goddess of beauty herself. Aphrodite, being the jealous type, was not having any of that shit. She's like, hell no, ain't no mortal stealing my thunder. So she calls up her son, Eros, the god of love and desire, and she's like, yo, Eros, I need you to do me a solid. Make this Psyche chick fall in love with the ugliest motherfucker you can find. Now, Eros, being the obedient son that he is, decides to play along. But here's the plot twist. When he lays eyes on Psyche's beauty, he stumbles like a virgin at prom and accidentally scratches his own ass with his arrow. Shit hits the fan big time and he falls head over heels in love with Psyche. Cue the celestial facepalm. Now, Eros was about as clueless as a virgin, trying to find the right hole in the dark when it came to confessing his feelings to Psyche. So instead of just nutting up and telling her how he feels, Eros decides to take the passive-aggressive route. He's like, well, if I can't have her, then nobody else can either. He refused to awaken the love for Psyche in any other man. It's like he's putting a divine chastity belt on Psyche, just to make sure she stays all his. Now, Psyche's got two sisters. They were the jealous type, the kind who'd stab you in the back for a chance at the spotlight. While Psyche's sisters were out there snagging themselves some mortal hunks and living their best lives, Psyche was stuck playing the role of the perpetual single gal. So, Psyche hauls her single ass to the Oracle of Delphi to figure out why she's still riding the solo train. But turns out, there was already some serious beef between Eros and Apollo. And Apollo is the big shot in charge of the Oracle of Delphi. So he gives a twisted prophecy. Yo, you are destined to marry a vile-winged beast who is feared even by Zeus and Hades. So go to the tallest mountain in the kingdom. There, you'll meet your beast boyfriend and probably die. So there's Psyche, standing tall on that goddamn mountaintop. But lo and behold, the beast is a no-show. Instead, it's Zephyrus, the god of the west wind, who rocks up like the badass wingman of the century. He scoops up Psyche in his mighty gusts and whisks her away to the mansion of her supposed beast boyfriend. Psyche strolls into this luxury palace and gets the red carpet treatment. Now, Psyche's living the dream, surrounded by luxury and invisible servants who cater to her every whim. But there's a catch. She's never allowed to see her mysterious boyfriend or learn his name. Eros comes to her every night in the dark, and surprise, this time he finds the right hole and is no longer a virgin. As for Psyche, oh, she's loving this weird nocturnal kinky play, even though he always pulls a Cinderella and disappears before sunrise. During the daytime, Psyche is just bored out of her mind, so eventually, Psyche's like, screw this noise, I need some sisterly love in my life. So she hits up her invisible boo and is like, hey babe, mind if I invite the fam over for a little reunion? And Eros is like, sure thing babe, I'll just send Zephyrus to fetch him. So they show up at Psyche's crib, right? And holy hell, it's like stepping into the lap of luxury. But instead of being happy for their sis, they're all like, damn, why can't we have nice things instead? So they start stirring the pot, urging Psyche to uncover the truth about her boyfriend's identity. So one night, while Eros is catching some Z's, Psyche decides to play detective with a dagger and a lamp. She's all set to uncover the truth and take down whatever beast is lurking in the shadows. But when she flips on the light, expecting to see a hideous monster, she's greeted with a sight that stops her dead in her tracks. Instead of a nightmare, she's face to face with the most stunning creature she's ever laid eyes on. Talk about a plot twist. But before she can even process what's happening, Psyche goes and bungles the whole operation by spilling some hot oil and waking up her sleeping beauty. And let me tell you, Eros is not impressed. So what does he do? He bolts, spreading his wings and disappearing into the night, leaving Psyche with nothing but regrets. Eros wings his way back to Aphrodite's crib to lick his wounds and throw himself a pity party. And Aphrodite, now doubly pissed at Psyche, saunters over and gives her a good ol' bitch slap. Laying down the law, she tells Psyche that if she wants her boy toy back, she's got to check off 4 tasks on Aphrodite's hit list. And Psyche agrees. For the first task, Aphrodite dumps 3 types of grains all mixed together like a damn salad in a big ol' pile, and tells poor Psyche, hey, sort this shit out before sunset. And there's Psyche, staring down at this grainy mess, wondering where the hell to even begin. But along come the ants. They take pity on Psyche's sorry ass and decide to lend a hand. They scurry about like tiny, 6-legged sorting machines, separating the grains faster than Hermes on rollerblades. And before you can say Eureka, Psyche's got herself 3 neatly sorted piles of grain. Aphrodite is pissed to see the task completed and gives Psyche a new one. She's like, "Alright Psyche, round 2. I want you to fetch me some golden fleece from some sheep. And let me tell ya, these ain't your grandma's fluffy farm animals. These sheep are meaner than a junkyard dog with a hangover. They're snarling, gnashing, and ready to turn anyone who gets too close into mutton stew." But Psyche ain't dumb. She spots these bushes nearby, covered in fleece snagged from the passing sheep. So instead of risking life and limb by getting up close and personal with the sheep, she gets to work gathering the fleece that the sheep carelessly left behind. But Aphrodite's not done making poor Psyche's life a living hell. The third task is to fetch water from the river Styx, guarded by a dragon that makes Smog look like a damn goldfish. So there's Psyche, standing at the edge of the river Styx, probably contemplating her life choices up to this point, when suddenly, Zeus himself decides to throw her a bone. He sends down an eagle to deal with the dragon guarding the river. So this eagle swoops down like a divine avenger, unleashing a flurry of talons and beak on that dragon like it's nobody's business. Before you can say, hallelujah, the dragon's down for the count. The river's wide open, and Psyche's got herself a flask full of water from the river Styx. Finally, Aphrodite throws down the gauntlet one last time. She hands Psyche a box and is like, "Hey Psyche, I need you to fetch me some beauty juice from Persephone down in the underworld. My own looks are fading faster than a mortal's attention span while tending to your sick boyfriend." Psyche somehow finds a way into the underworld and hands over the box to Persephone, who does some hocus pocus and hands it back with a wink and a smile. Psyche, none the wiser, skips out of the underworld with her prize in hand, thinking she's got the secret to eternal beauty locked up tight. But here's where shit hits the fan. Psyche thinks to give her tired ass a little touch-up before reuniting with her boo. But as soon as she cracks open that box, it's game over. Instead of finding the elixir of everlasting beauty, she unleashes a big ol' can of whoop ass in the form of eternal sleep so deep, even Sleeping Beauty would be jealous. By this time, Eros is fully healed from his little burn, and soars through the heavens to find his love. He swoops in like the knight in shining armor, draws the sleep from Psyche's face, and slaps it back into the damn box, where it belongs. With Psyche back among the living, Eros grabs her hand, box in tow, and marches straight to Aphrodite's doorstep to complete the task. He then marches to Zeus and lays out his case. After some back and forth, they strike a deal. Zeus agrees to help Eros and Psyche reunite, but in exchange, Eros has to play his personal wingman whenever he sets his sights on a mortal babe. Then Zeus gathers the divine crew, tells Aphrodite to fuck off, and casually whips up some ambrosia for Psyche, turning her into an immortal goddess. Eros and Psyche go on to have themselves a bouncing baby goddess named Hedone. Hedone is the embodiment of pleasure and bliss, and then they lived happily ever after.